What's up, y'all? Bet you didn't expect to see this face today. I wanted to come to y'all because I've made a few changes, and I think I'm going to make some permanent changes to these videos where we're going to start off talking about what was covered mostly in the video. Today, what we talked about was really placing stops and why they should be placed in certain areas and things to that nature. They're always going to change no matter what market you're looking at. If you're looking at the ES, you're not going to use the same stop size as you would if you're looking at the NQ. The values are different, so your stop is going to be different. But really knowing where it goes based on the price action, based on areas anticipated to hold or to break, that's really what we're thinking of when we're putting our risk in. And when we're putting in our entry, it can vary depending on where the risk is and where your signal is, or maybe even your patience. So this video is a little bit different. Like I said, I'm starting off with this. I've also added a little bit of music, and normally I would edit out all of the blank space. But instead of doing that, I've sped it up. So we got a little bit of music, we got a little bit of more action than you would normally see, just at a much faster pace. So you want to be sure when you're watching that, know that that's sped up 10 times the normal speed. I don't want you thinking that it's always going to be moving that quickly. What we're going to do really quick is I'm just going to bring up the chart so you can see what was done for today. Here you can see I only took one trade, 6 points for the one trade, and it's looking pretty good. So it has been a little bit slow. It has shown you some signals. It has shown you pulled back in areas for the short. Now here it also showed you, if you were involved with some of the companies that I've seen around, they would be really encouraging you to take longs at this point. And longs are not the proper way to take the trade. So you want to be sure to understand why you're taking the short here, what you're looking for to happen. And it's not just the 610 talking about it. It's the 233, the 1597, the 4181. The course does teach you how to read all of that, how to put it all together. So, but I just wanted to give you some tidbits, some things that you can work towards and understand and learn on your journey if this is something that you may be struggling with. I know risk is a huge struggle for a lot of students. So understanding that has made a giant difference in the way that they trade, because they know what they're looking for at this point. They know why they're looking for it. The why is extremely important. So hopefully you enjoy the video. If you if you like the music, please let me know. Please let me know, just give me a like on the video or shoot me a message and say, Lindsay, please don't ever put music in trading videos again. Although I probably will, because I tend to do what I want. But that's one of the benefits of being a day trader, is I get to make my decisions and do the things that I feel are best for me. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the video. Let me know how it goes. And I look forward to catching y'all on the profitable side. All right. Hello, everyone. It looks like we've got some pretty decent movement today. First time in a little while. Man, it's just been pulling up into this resistance area for the last 3 days. W pivot did its thing. Like, in reality, when you're taking these type of trades that I'm looking at right now, or any trading right now, you want to be aware of where the areas that could hold and could break are. And right now it's just areas holding above and below. So it's a very small space to work with. So you don't want to hold these trades forever. Now, I may give you signals that it's going to keep pushing. So if you have a second contract on it, maybe moving to a break even and letting it keep running whenever something like that happens. Okay. So what do we see going on here? Now, are we at a place where we would normally think about taking a long? Yeah, but we got to read what the cues are telling us. The time to take a long wasn't here. The time to take a long may be coming up soon, but we got to look at the strength of what's coming back against this. Will this push back further? We got to look for the signals that tell us when it's slowing down. Okay, I'm going to take this short I'm going to see how far this goes. I like that things are still kind of in tune with it here. Just looking to see if we're going to go past this support area in the MACDs and in the price. I feel like I'm a little late on the entry. Should have been another tick or so up just so we could get the risk back above here. Knowing where your risk goes is extremely important. You want that risk to go where you don't want the market to go. So if it's out in the middle whenever you get in, you can very easily come back, tag it, and go. I'm pulling this wrist just a little bit, just keep it right here with this as we're coming down to that area that's held several times. Now it's looking like it's really giving us an opportunity to push down. Now here's the thing. Whatever chart you are using to track your stop, so I'm using my 233 to track my stop right here, I'm going to need to use that 233 to also track my exit. So if I'm tracking my stop behind here and it slows down, then I want to go ahead and say, all right, this is giving me signals that it's dying out, because we're using the very quick signals at this moment. 233 and the 610 will both give me a spot to move my risk if this pushes past this area, but I want to see it push past here before I really move it. Otherwise, if it starts to turn around, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this trade. So I'm going to be watching this very closely as we're pulling into the support area. It's starting to look good for the push on the 610. 1597. This is looking like a pretty good drop. We're going to pull this down just a little bit more. There we go. There's the first one out. Now let's look at where this could possibly go. What I like to do is just kind of pull it off while I'm looking for the possibilities. So I'm just looking around at all the things that we have that says this could continue, or what's saying it might be slowing down. There's not really a single chart that says this might be slowing down just yet. They're all showing strength in the same direction. So if you want, you can hold this pretty close and let it keep running like this. That way, if it does decide to pull back pretty quickly, you are not out much profit. All right, we're at the 75% mark. I'm gonna go ahead and take the exit here. Although we do still have the strength to continue. It's just if we start getting so far away from these areas, it's going to show us a good reason to pull back. So. You can see that little bit of a wedge. And it's not exactly a wedge, but you can see it's making higher pivots here where it's just evened out at that resistance area. And what usually happens there is it just continues to make those higher pivots, and lately it's just keeps pushing through that area. When we get inside of the EMAs though, what does that show? That shows weakness. So being inside of the EMAs really can show us the potential for a change. Pulling up to the resistance area, getting inside, crossing over. Just look at it here. I just want to see what the entry looks like on here on the 610. Perfect. So what I want to talk about for just a moment is most traditional companies might get you into a bind because they say you need to be at this specific area, above areas, looking for the long. And that's what we had right here on our trading chart.
But there were also very clear signals that once I started to really come into it, and this is why we are patient, why we don't just hop into the long right here and say, okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and take this with blind faith that it's going to go up. The thing is that we have to be aware of what everything's telling us. And when you really break it down and start to look at the bigger tick charts, you start to see that this really didn't have a lot of hope to break through this whenever we look at our signals that this was holding. So we've also come to that area that's held several times, which is that larger EMA on the 4181, the smaller one on the 10946. And this one is an area for a bounce, right? So we blew past that first area for the bounce. We look at that next one and say, okay, what's going to happen when we get there? What are signals of a slowdown? What are we looking for? All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, I hope that y'all have a fabulous, fabulous, wonderful day. Oh, and let me put this on here really quick, just so we know. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that y'all have a fabulous day.